Okay, so I'm going to go through all the programs here for the challenge just so you have an idea of what they look like. So this is program 1 called Hello World. I'm going to run it. And all it does is it prints the word Hello World. So that's the first program, Hello World. Next program called Hello Somebody. When you run it, it's going to ask you what your name is. And it's going to say hello to you. And this works for anybody. So if your name is Darth Vader, then it will say hello to you. Okay, notice, so it's just saying hello and then the name is good. And then extra challenge would be to add a space here and an exclamation point at the end. This next program called First and Last. And so it asks for your first name, your last name, and just puts them together. Should work for any set of names. Okay. If you want to have some fun with the output, you're more than welcome to be creative with it, have fun with it. This program is called Name and Age. Here's how it works. Ask for your name, ask for your age, and outputs statement says your name and your age. This program is called Adding Machine. When you run it, enter any number. We'll say first number would be 5, next number would be 738. It's going to add them together. Pretty simple. This program is called the Tip Calculator. When you run it, it will ask for the cost of your meal. We'll say $473.15. It was a very expensive meal. And then it says the percent of the tip. Let's say that we are feeling generous, and we're going to give a 25% tip. This one asks you to enter as a percent, and so make it as a whole number. If you want to do yours as a decimal, you can. Okay, and so there it has given the amount of the tip. You can also write your program, or the next part is going to ask you to write it as, to actually round that value for the next program. So let's run it again. Let's say the meal was $100, or let's say it was $85.15. We'll say percent tip of 15, $12.77. You see it rounds it to the two place values. This program is called Less Than 100, and the way it works is you ask for a number. We'll say 45, and if it's less than 100, it says this number is 100 or less. If it's greater than 100, nothing happens. Okay? And so that's less than 100. In the next challenge, I'll show you that as well. You're asked to make it do something when it's not greater than 100. So this would be the next challenge right here. And so let's say if it's greater than 100, it says this number is greater than 100. But also notice that if it's less than 100, it still does just the 100 or less one. It doesn't say this is greater than 100. Okay? This program called equal to 7. Okay. Apparently, I made a mistake. I was making this quick. Alright, we're good now. Okay. So it asks you to enter a number. We enter that number. You see that nothing happens. Okay. Run again. If the number I enter is equal to 7, then it tells me it is equal to 7. This program is called Happy Birthday. This is part 1, in which we just ask if it's someone's birthday. If they say yes, it asks your age, and you'll say 700 years old. Happy 700th birthday. Okay, and that's it. If it's not your birthday, nothing happens. Or you can make it say something else if you want. Also, if it is, there is a problem with it though, because if it's your first birthday, if it's your first birthday, it's going to say happy first birthday, which doesn't really make sense. So part 2 is going to ask us to change that. Alright, so here's part 2 of the birthday one. You'll notice that if today is your birthday and you're 1, it actually changes it to say first. If today's your birthday and you are 2, it changes it to second. If you are 3, oops. If you are 3, it changes it to third. But for other days, you'll notice it leaves it as the TH. Let's see. So, happy 5th birthday. Okay. There are still problems because you'll notice that if it's the 23rd birthday, oops. If it's the 23rd birthday, it's not going to format it right still. So there's still some work to be done in part 3 later. This program is called isEven, and it checks to see if the number you put in is even. So we enter a number. This is not an even number, so nothing happened. If I put in an even number, it says 4 is an even number. If I type in again a number that's not even, nothing happens. Okay, so nothing happens. There you go. Okay. The other thing, if you want to add some, have it say that this is an odd number when it's not an even number, you could do that. If there's something else, if you want to personalize a bit, you can. Also notice that if I put in 0, it says 0 is an even number, which I don't know if 0 is an even number. So that's something that you could try to find a way around as well if you like. Alright, this is the leap year program. All it does, you take a year, and it tells you if that year is a leap year. Okay. I actually think that the rule I'm using here is partially correct, because I believe that years that end in 100, it's like 1200, I believe that would not be a year, but years that end in 1000 are. So like the year 2000 should be a leap year. I think the year 1900 should not be a leap year. Okay, this is part 3 of the happy birthday program. So if it is your birthday, it's going to modify it. So let's say it's your 21st birthday, it will fix it. If it's your 19th birthday, it changes it as the TH. If it's your 102nd birthday, I'll change it to the ND. Okay, and so that's the basics of this program. There is a challenge though. If you want to challenge yourself beyond that, then there's some special circumstances. So like if it's your 11th birthday, there's a 1 at the end, but it shouldn't change it. It should say as a TH. Okay. Oops. If it's your 100, if it's your 12, and if you're 12th and 13th, but it also should work if it was your 212th birthday. It should stay the same. Okay. But if it's your 219th birthday, it should still stay the same. But if it's your your 223rd birthday, it should still change. Okay, so you're having to change it for some circumstances, the ending, but not for all of them. So you're thinking about how to format this and how to change it. So if you just get with things ending in 1, 2, and 3, that's good. If you want to push yourself so that the certain circumstances where you don't change it, it doesn't get changed, you could do that too. Alright, this is a program that checks if it's the weekend. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run it, and you're going to enter the day of the week. Okay, so we run it. It says enter day of the week. If it is Monday, sorry, not the weekend yet. If it is Sunday, it's the weekend. Okay. If it is Saturday, Here we go. It's Saturday. There you go. It also should be set up so that, well, let's say this. If you want to push yourself, to challenge yourself, you should make it so that if it's capitalized, it also says it's the weekend. Okay. So like Sunday. Okay. If it's Thursday. Okay. So because an extra layer of challenge would be to make sure that it determined it was a Saturday, whether this was capitalized or not, because it works both with lowercase Saturday and with capitalized Saturday. Alright, so this is programs called Hello Alice or Bob. It's a change from one of our first programs where you give your name, but it only likes to say hello if your name is Alice or if your name is Bob. If it's anything else, it won't say hello. And again, if you want to challenge yourself, you can make it so it also works if the names are capitalized. Okay, you also notice that if I capitalize the full name, it's not going to work. Okay, this is a program that checks to see if a number you put in is divisible by 4 and if it's greater than 20. Okay, if it's both those things, it will say yes. If it's not, it will say no. And so an example would be 15, not greater than 20 or divisible by 4. 16, it is divisible by 4 but not greater than 20. Okay, 20 divided by 4, not greater than 20, it's equal to 20 still. 24 is yes. Okay, it's greater than 20 and divisible by 4. 30 is no. 30 is no, because while greater than 20, not divisible by 4. This is a program that adds to n. Okay, so if you put in a number, it's freezing right now. So if you put in a number, say the number 6, it's going to add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Okay, so that adds up to be 21. So if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3, that gives you 6. If you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, it gives you 10. If you add all the way to 5, that gives you 15. Okay, and so that's what the purpose of this program is. If you go, say, like 100, it will add, all the way to 100. And so all the numbers 1 to 100 add together is 5,050. Okay, and if you want to challenge yourself, you can edit your program so that not only does that do that, but it tells you what the sum is. So if we do 3, it tells us that it's equal to 6. 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. If we do 15, all numbers add to 15. If we do 100, it tells us all the numbers to 100. If we do 1,000, we get this big long train adding all the way to 1,000. Okay, and so it only took maybe 3 additional lines of code to do this. And so if you want to challenge yourself, you could do it like this.